All right, today we're tackling a really cool idea. What if you could turn back the clock? Not with some sci fi gadget, but with something you do every single day eating. We're going to dive into what the sources are saying about the science of literally eating younger. Look, we all get older. The calendar doesn't lie, right? But do we have to feel old? What about that energy, that spark? What if that's actually something we can control? That's the big question we're digging into. And believe it or not, a lot of sources are pointing to one place for the answer: your plate. The idea here is that food isn't just fuel. It's one of the most powerful levers we have to pull, not just for a longer life, but for a better one. Okay, so first we need to get one thing straight. There are two different ages. There's your chronological age, you know how many candles are on your birthday cake, that's set in stone. But then there's your biological age. That's how old your body acts on the inside at the cellular level. And here's the kicker. That's the number we can actually change. You can't change your birthday, but you might be able to change your biology. So how do we do it? Well, you've got to know your enemy, right? Sources point to these four main culprits behind biological aging. You've got oxidative stress, which is basically cellular rust. Then there's chronic inflammation. Think of it as a slow burn that's always on inside your body. Cellular decay is when old, broken parts of your cells start to pile up. And finally, telomere shortening. Imagine the little plastic tips on your shoelaces fraying. That's happening to your DNA. Our whole game plan is to go after these four things. All right, first things first. Before we even talk about all the cool superfoods you can add, we have to talk about what to take away. This is all about playing defense. The first, most important step is to stop pouring fuel on the fire, to stop eating things that actually speed up aging. And here are the usual suspects, the top age accelerators. We're talking refined sugar and stuff like white bread and pasta. They're basically fuel for that slow burn of inflammation. Excess alcohol, which just puts your whole system under stress. Red and processed meats. And even stuff like fried foods and grilling at really high temps can create compounds that cause that cellular rust. Seriously, a common thread you see everywhere is limiting or avoiding this stuff. Okay, so our defense is solid. Now it's time to go on offense. We've stopped doing the bad stuff. Now let's start adding the good stuff. We're talking about bringing in the elite forces, the cellular superfoods that are specifically armed to fight back against those aging enemies we just talked about. First up on our hit list, oxidative stress, that cellular rust. So what causes it? These rogue molecules called free radicals, think of them like tiny little pinballs bouncing around inside your cells, causing damage everywhere. The solution? Antioxidants. They're like the cleanup crew that swoops in and neutralizes these free radicals before they can wreck the place. So who's on the team? Let's meet our antioxidant army. You've got blueberries, nicknamed the brain's reset button, green tea, which helps protect those shoelace caps on your DNA. Get this, even dark chocolate, as long as it's the good stuff, helps boost blood flow. And pomegranates are incredible. They actually help your cells take out their own trash. It's a powerhouse lineup, for sure. Okay, on to the next target, that slow burn we mentioned, chronic inflammation. Now, this isn't the kind of inflammation you see when you sprain your ankle. That's actually a good thing. It's your body healing. We're talking about a sneaky, low-grade fire that's always smoldering in the background. And scientists are now realizing this is a huge driver of pretty much every major age-related disease. So how do we put out the fire? We call in the anti-inflammatory squad. Leading the charge is extra virgin olive oil. Some call it liquid longevity. Then you've got wild-caught salmon, packed with omega-3s and an amazing antioxidant that acts like an internal sunscreen. Turmeric, the golden repair system. And of course, avocados, full of those good fats that just help cool everything down. Now here's a crazy pro tip about turmeric. The magic stuff inside it is called curcumin, but our bodies are actually not great at absorbing it. But here's the hack. Just add a tiny pinch of black pepper. The stuff in pepper helps your body absorb the curcumin by, wait for it, 2,000%. 2,000. It's a tiny change for a massive, massive payoff. All right, next up, we're focusing on our body's own internal maintenance crew. This is all about helping our cells clean house, repair themselves, and making sure our gut, which is basically mission control for our entire immune system, is working perfectly. So let's meet the repair and rebuild crew. First, broccoli sprouts. They are absolute detox commanders, flipping on our body's own natural defense genes. Then you have fermented foods like kimchi or yogurt. Think of them as a time machine for your gut, adding back all the good guys.
and bone broth or gelatin, which gives you the raw materials like glycine to literally rebuild your collagen for better skin, hair, and joints.
And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? The road to a younger body doesn't start in the mirror, it starts in the gut. And this isn't just a nice saying, there's real science here. For instance, a recent Stanford study showed that just adding fermented foods to your diet for 10 weeks significantly lowered key markers of inflammation. It's powerful proof that a happy gut is ground zero for younger body.
Okay, so food is obviously a huge, huge piece of the puzzle, but it's not the only piece. The sources are really clear on this. To get the best results, your diet needs to be part of a bigger picture, a picture that includes things like smart exercise and even skincare. So let's take a look at 3 really different people who are all known for looking younger than their age. What's interesting is what they have in common. They all avoid sugar and processed junk, and they all exercise consistently. But then they each have their own X factor. For Jolene Diaz, it's decades of skincare. For the tech guy Brian Johnson, it's about measuring literally everything. And for Tom Cruise, it's all about agility and eating smaller meals throughout the day. It just goes to show you, there's more than one way to do it, but the core ideas are always there.
People literally think Jolene Diaz is her daughter's sister. It's wild. And she says her secret is a skincare routine she started when she was just 12. It boils down to a simple but powerful 3-step plan. Step 1, exfoliate to get rid of the old dull skin. Step 2, repair with something like retinol to build up that collagen. And Step 3, protect, using ingredients that help fight back against sun damage. So we've gone through a ton of info. What does it all mean for you? Well, the key takeaway is that this isn't about perfectly copying someone else's routine. It's about taking these core principles and building your own personal blueprint, something that actually works for your life. And let's just circle back to the main idea here, the whole point of this. We're talking about biological age. It's a measure of your health from the inside out. And unlike your birthday, the sources say this is something you absolutely have the power to change. It's not about fighting time, it's about working with your body. So if we boil it all down, what does the blueprint look like? It's pretty straightforward. First, prioritize real whole foods that are packed with antioxidants. Second, cut back on the things that speed up aging: sugar, processed foods, too much alcohol. Third, move your body regularly. Fourth, take care of your skin. And fifth, look after your gut. Those are the big pillars right there. Look, at the end of the day, it's not about one magic food or one perfect workout. There's no single magic bullet. The real secret, the real power, comes from the small, smart choices you make every single day, adding up over time. It's all about that consistency. So that brings us to the final question. Think about it. If your body is like a high-performance engine, what kind of fuel are you going to put in it tomorrow? The choice is yours.